Okay, hold up.
I don't even remember what my second slide is. Do I need to share from my laptop? Do all of you have a LinkedIn profile? Are we? No? Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So I kind of created a how-to. I wanted you guys to all be able to take action and hopefully make it something worth your while. So yeah, so why LinkedIn? For me, it was easy to be consistent. I'd spend an hour after work and just copy and paste messages, right? No cost, doesn't require much maintenance. LinkedIn doesn't want you to post too much, maybe once a day, but honestly, once a week is great. And it's easy to grow. You can control it. And since LinkedIn is a networking site, people are way more professional. They want to build a relationship with you because they're hoping for business in return, right? So the conversations are better. And something I've also found on LinkedIn, people are quick to share their real estate motivation. So I have a message I send, and oftentimes I'll hear, hey, we are going to buy in a year from now. We just bought last year, we're selling in 2 years, that sort of thing. So yeah, so getting started, up until like last week, I barely hit 5,000 and I didn't have a background photo. So honestly, it's not much about look.
5,000?
Yeah.
Barely? That's huge.
So what you got to have, of course, your name. And you'll see underneath my name, Salt Lake City, Utah Realtor, making real estate dreams a reality. Anytime I post or comment, that line shows up. So I would highly encourage your title, however you want to identify yourself there. And then add any sort of job experience, school experience, that sort of thing, because that's how you're going to find your network. Yeah, it helps you find your network. Okay. Okay. So my process and what I've done to build up to 5,000, I literally.
Kelsey, hold on one second. Can everybody see this screen?
There's nothing showing up on my screen except for using LinkedIn as a realtor.
No, that's.
Okay, but it says why LinkedIn? I think your video's off. Turn your.
No, it doesn't say anything like that.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Ruby. Thanks, Jake. We're gonna get it fixed.
Oh, which.
Please something I did. Please hold. Hybrid's tough, guys.
It is.
On a Monday. Okay, what did we do on your screen here? I'm going to stop it. I know what I did. Okay. Can you see it now?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Okay, you should be good. Maybe cover the first couple screens really quick just for the recording, if you don't mind.
Just start over here.
No, just the last couple that they didn't get to see.
I'll go back.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just what I recommend on having on your profile. So of course, name, of course, title, brokerage, location, identify yourself, title, and however you want to identify yourself, value statement, whatever you want to call that. So that line underneath my name, every time I comment or post, it shows up. So whatever you put there can be really powerful. And then job experience, whatever you want to add to your profile there, will help you build your network and find more connections. And then this is just my daily process, literally. So how I've built to 5,000. So I don't pay for LinkedIn at all. So each week I get an allotted amount of connections. I think it's maybe a couple hundred. So every Monday I hop on LinkedIn and I just hit connect, connect, connect until I run out. And then once those
It's
people are
50.
connected,
It's 50 a week.
oh, okay. That scared me. So I just hit connect, and then once we have a connection, I send them a message. And then after that message is sent, obviously, we're going back and forth, and then my goal is to add them to my database. A lot of people are willing to give up their information. You can go to their profile and take it, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, so here's how you're going to build your network. So next to home, there's a network, and then I just go through here and hit connect. I don't care. I try to watch and at least make sure they're in Utah and they're not real estate agents, but I literally just connect. And then if you wanted to draft your own message, here's kind of a framework. So yeah.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
When you just connect, you try to go to a particular industry or just whoever's showing up in your?
So like, that's a good question. So in my profile, my experience, I have like the University of Utah, Salt Lake Community College. So all of my connections are coming from those areas. So a lot of the conversations I'm having are with students. So yeah, I mean, beware. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So Bree and I had a conversation, and she actually got a list from a neighborhood and was like typing in, you know, homeowners' names, which is such a great idea. Like you target a neighborhood this way. Yeah. So you could be really strategic about it for sure. And so then here's my message. It's long, but I have had like really good outcome. So I have over 120 leads from LinkedIn. I've sent 5 out-of-state referrals. I've sent so many leads to Ryan. Many more to come. So yeah. And then here's just how you send the message. So network, you'll find here your connections, and then I literally just click message. I copy and paste my message, and I change it, like, hey Joe, hey Kobe, hey Kylie, and I spend probably an hour at most. There was one time, this is so funny, I did it on a Saturday in bed, and I messaged this guy from like Texas or something, and I was like, hey, you know, do you mind if we keep in touch? He responded really quick, and he called me. Like my phone number's in my message, and so now I don't do it in bed on Saturdays. I was flattered though, he wanted to stay in touch so bad. So yeah, lots of different conversations will happen. My first goal is to get their information so I can stay in touch with them, add them to my database, and get them on a smart plan, right? So I usually start with, would you be offended? Do you mind if we keep in touch? Some other conversations I'm having is just business owners. And so they'll immediately respond with, this is what I do. If you want to set up a time to chat, because I have something about that in my message. So yeah, I've made some really interesting business connections, quite a few contractors that my clients have actually used. I had a guy that was a chef. I think he's maybe just finishing school at the University of Utah. And he's like, what if we, work together and I have the kitchen at the open house and I prepare food? And I'm like, okay, you got my attention now. So lots of different opportunities can open up. Any questions? I feel like I'm probably going really fast.
So I was just wondering, like, do you feel, because I know a lot of these people are also looking for business. So do you feel like the ones that are like, well, this is what I do for a living? I know you said you had good connections with like contractors, but do you ever feel like it's spammy or anything like that? Or do you feel like they're really good connections or relationships?
I have a few really good ones. There's quite a few that are a little bit spammy, but it's my fault for initiating that conversation.
Okay.
I get people that will say like, I'm spam, and I usually respond in some sort of way that, I'm sorry you feel that way. This is how we could work together. Yeah, there's been some conversations that are a little bit of waste of time for sure. But like
But more value than just a whole bunch of junk in your,
yeah,
like, I don't even know how this works. So these are very genuine questions from me, but
I think so. I mean, for example, I'm doing a event with a financial advisor that I met on LinkedIn, and I approached him the same way. I've had quite a few conversations with, financial advisors, but I mean, you kind of weed them out, right? I'm trying to think of some other examples. I get a lot of conversations going about like SEO and photography. And I always just like say, hey, shoot me a text and we can stay in touch. But I mean, not anything major. Yeah, I think it's mostly been valuable. So yeah, uh I feel like this slide's out of place, but so I'll send that message. Maybe I should go back. So I'll send this message and then obviously they respond to some sort of effect. They're interested, they share their business with me, that sort of thing. And then I say, hey, do you mind if we keep in touch? And then usually they give me their info, or no, okay, wait, let me think about this. They'll say like yes or no, and a lot of them actually will say yes and then won't send their information. So in that case, I will usually, it depends on the person. I just like kind of do the gut check thing. But I'll go to their profile and grab their contact information if it's someone I actually want to stay in touch with. And quite a few people have it.
so just to clarify, you ask for their information
Mhm.
or like, let's stay connected. They say yes, but they don't actually give you their contact info. So
Sorry.
but then you can go and take
Sorry.
it anyway.
Okay, wait, let me think. So they'll respond however, and then depending on how they respond, like I ask if they mind if we keep in touch, and then they'll say yes or no, and then I'll say, what's your phone number and email address? I don't ask for their address. I feel like that's so creepy. If they mention they have a home, I'll go look them up on the MLS. But yeah, I ask them for their phone number and email address. And then if they don't respond at that point, that's when I go to their profile and I'll check and see if their contact information's there. Thank you. I was like way off track. So if I don't get their contact information there's so many other ways that I end up getting their information and staying in contact. So polls have been my huge gold mine lately. So I will just post a question and based on those responses, I'll send some sort of information catcher or question grabber, something. And then surveys, that's been another really good one. So I created a survey for home buyers, and it's just like, what are you afraid of? What's keeping you from buying? It's like 3 questions. What's your name, phone number, and email address? And then I think I've got over 20 leads, and I sent a bunch of those to Ryan. So that's been super awesome. And then events has been another way. Ryan and I did a home buyer seminar last month, and there's probably 6 or 7 people I think RSVP'd from LinkedIn. So yeah, any questions there?
I have a question. So what systems are you using to do these? So like the survey, did you create it through a certain system that you use, or did you just use like Google?
The survey, I used Google Forms, and the
Okay.
poll is just literally created in LinkedIn. So can I show? Oh.
Yeah, your LinkedIn is up there at the top.
Sorry. I'm pretty personal. Okay, where's my polls? I have posted one recently.
So the events, I
don't
see there's an
know.
event. So do you just create it on there too?
No. Okay, where? I barely posted one. It's weird that it's not showing. Okay, well, anyways. That's annoying. Well, I have a picture in here that I'll share, so.
Where do you go to create the poll?
To create the poll? Oh, I can show that. So, view profile. Create a post, and then I just go more, create a poll, and then I would literally just do like, what's keeping you from buying? And then I would just say yes, or, then I would fill out the answers, and then everyone that responds, I send them a message or a poll.
Do you get a lot of responses from polls?
I mean, if you compare to the messages I send, not really, but the amount of time I spend, I feel like it's pretty good. And then events, I create an event. So here's a poll. Finally, it popped up. So I will respond to all of these people. This one has been horrible. I had another one that had like over 40 votes. So I don't know what the super secret trick is there, but with events, so I will literally create an event. This isn't what I was thinking it was. So I'll create an event on LinkedIn, and then I will invite people, and then LinkedIn makes it really easy to respond, but people tend to not go to that site. So I message all of them. So like this one, 219. So I just go here, invite, and I'll just check all of those people. And then I send them all messages, and I send them all reminders. Cool. And then just like some other ways, messages, events, just basically what we all went through. Catch up is really cool because I'll show. The bar like goes right over where I need to.
Grab it.
There we go. Okay, so catch up. So here, and then if you go to catch up,
Marcel wants to be your friend.
you can see job changes, birthdays, work anniversaries. And then like you can send a message here or like go to the post and comment on it. So it just makes it so easy to like, and LinkedIn literally writes comments for you. So it's really easy to just like stay in front of people. Yeah, so then here I was just showing my poll. This was funny because I was at Parade of Homes and this lady was talking about introverts and extroverts, and I thought about this post forever, and it literally made me realize how powerful polls are. So that's pretty much all I post now. And then we went through pretty much all of this. And then this is my survey message, super simple and to the point. And then I also followed up with people like, hey, just a reminder, fill out that survey. And I got more after that. It was kind of funny. So yeah, I've been consistent with it and I've had luck. So just wanted to leave you all on a positive consistency message. But any questions?
How do you organize and follow up?
Yeah, so I add them to command and then I just tag them LinkedIn. And then I have 10 days of pain and then I have a warm tag. It's not a super great answer. It's a struggle.
Like even your mailbox in here though, the messaging, is that kind of what you mean? Like it's, if you're
Oh.
sending out all these messages every day and they start responding, how do you stay organized in there?
I can't. So, I mean, you have like a focused and an other. That's all LinkedIn gives you. So I used unread a lot. If it's for some reason I need to go back. Yeah, LinkedIn. That's another reason I'll just add them to my database and grab their email if that's all that their profile has. Because if I know they have a motivation, at least they'll stay on top of my mind that way. So, yeah. I'm still figuring it out.
The
but,
question was, what is her 10 days of pain?
I have Ryan on there. I loop them in an email with Ryan. I find them on social media. A lot of it's social media, app, text sort of stuff. I do. I look for them on Facebook. Yeah. I don't get a lot of accepts there, but
At what point do you send them over to Ryan?
it depends. With the survey, I've sent them over pretty quick. I try to have a conversation with them first because I figured out if they talk to him first, they don't necessarily want to talk to me because they're waiting for, there's one, what did she filed bankruptcy. There's another one that was like a student who's pretty far out. And it's just made it harder to get them in person. So
Well, I think, and correct me.
Hold on.
Yeah, so I was just going to say real quick, I'm sure you're not expecting a 50% conversion ratio from this, but as a new agent in the business, it's a great way to have more of a wide net marketing strategy where you can create more warm connections. And it doesn't always mean that that particular person is going to be the one who gives you the transaction, but now you've expanded the potential
for sure.
to get other resources of business from other connections. So, I mean, regardless of the conversion, you're making a ton of connections and contacts, and then you're following people, you're getting contact information. Some of them are coming over to me, which are getting drips and emails and reminders and calls from me and my team. So I mean, it's a winning strategy, but it's probably more of a long-term
For
winning
sure.
strategy if you're staying consistent, which you have been.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's definitely cold leads. There's been a few occasions where they've come back pretty hot. I had a
Hey,
guy.
It's very wide net though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're making a ton of connections.
Yeah,
So
I did go on a listing appointment. It wasn't the best listing appointment, huh, Lori? But there's big opportunity for sure, for sure. Yeah,
But it's free.
yeah, it is free. That's what I love about it.
I don't think it's any different than the geographical farming. It's just kind of a free version.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we're always looking to build our database too. So if you get somebody that says, can I stay in contact? And they say yes, it's one more person in your database.
yeah. And for me, like I said, I was terrified of making calls, but when I call these people and I say, hey, it's Kelsey, the realtor from LinkedIn, they know who I am. They don't hang up. They want to talk to me. It's just way more pleasant. So I think for me, that's the biggest win.
And I know you said there are some students and whatnot on here, but isn't the good majority of LinkedIn, they're employed, right?
Yeah.
They have
yeah.
good jobs. More,
It's the people I'm going after and the way I'm approaching it for sure.
yeah.
But they've been fun to work with. Like there's one lead that Ryan and I have been working on pretty hard. He I don't really think was much considering buying. And what he was actually one of my first messages, and he's a student, and we got him started and kicked off, and I don't know. That was a fun one. Like student just married. He said no. I put him on an email campaign, and he messaged me probably less than a month later on LinkedIn. So I don't know. I love it.
Oh, I thought maybe. Okay. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
Any other questions?
Has anybody else used LinkedIn? I wanted to pick anybody else's brains. Thank you for sharing all of that. I think Cody is pretty good on LinkedIn as well. But
Yeah,
if
I got
anybody
about
else tried it or had success?
3,000 followers, but I'm also a corporate recruiter on the side, so that's part of it too. When you go about this, probably the best advice I can give is make sure you add your 50 every week. If you subscribe to their premium service, you can get more, but make sure you get that 50 in. Now, not all 50 is always going to accept, but comes around New Year's time when people are doing their resolutions, you'll see like 500 people just click accept right there on that day alone.
Wow.
Students, they seem to comment more, they seem to like stuff more, which makes your social media look great. I personally love to add students. Every time I see a student, I click add every single time.
Awesome. Has anybody else tried it? Like I said, it's pretty new concept. I mean, it's not a new concept, but in our world, I don't think a lot of people take advantage of this. So were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
I've only tried it, but that's about it. But that's cool. It's cool to see Kelsey kind of she a master at it a little bit. I see her.
I've just barely gotten back into it, mostly because Kelsey was telling me how great it was. And it was nice for one of my staging class events. It was an additional place to do an event and share and post and reach different people. So I have faith that it'll work eventually. I should probably log in more than once a month though.
Hey, any other questions?
You said you're spending about an hour. That's like every day, so 7 days or 5 days a week.
So on Monday, I exhaust all of my connections. So that first day is the longest, like an hour, hour and a half. It really just depends how many people connect. And then after that, it's probably 15 to 20 minutes. It's not much of a time commitment after that.
Wow. So your setup and just getting going really, it's what took the longest. And then you're just going in daily to post and to try to make new connections there.
Exactly.
And you can only do 50 per week.
And that's where I got stuck at too, was the setup. So
I feel like it's more than 50 because my profile's grown quicker than that, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's based on how many connections you have. I don't know.
It's 50 for sure though.
Any other questions?
Have you found any other opportunities that you didn't think were gonna come with this? Have you been thinking, oh, I started with this and now, I'm getting into this other, resource?
I would say events. So I talked about that financial planner that we're actually doing an event on Wednesday. And then like since that, I'm just looking for resources so I can have a seminar every month to invite my SOI, of course, but mostly to invite my people on LinkedIn. So I would say that's a resource that came out of that.
How do you organize the events? Like, can we join one of your events and see how you make them work?
Yeah, totally. So this one that's happening on Wednesday, like I said, I've talked to a lot of financial planners and they kind of fall off, like they don't follow up, they don't keep the appointment. So, this guy, he's really good and he actually helped me set it all up. So this one's going to be on Zoom. He created the platform for people to enter their information and then we're just sharing those leads. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Kelsey. You are amazing. Round of applause in the room for her. Reactions on Zoom. She's wonderful. Yes, I will. Hey, you guys. Well, thank you for coming. We will be meeting again tomorrow morning at 8:30 on Zoom. Ryan was going to announce something tomorrow morning. So since not all of you can be there, let me announce it really quick. They are doing an event, and also shout out to them and any other lender, you guys that are wanting to do events. Bring your lenders in. They'll do them for you. They do the heavy lifting. They do the talking, they do the presenting, they do all of that. So she's taking advantage of that, right? Like the financial advisor, the lenders, like they're going to be the ones actually, you will present, but they do a lot of the heavy lifting, especially as you're kind of a newer agent. So it looks like Cross Country Mortgage is doing a winning the buyer luncheon. It says take advantage of the NAR settlement. So this is going to be on August 8th at 11:30 a.m. and it's at Brio. So QR code, I'll see if I can share it in the chat. But he's going to talk about it again tomorrow. So, hey, thanks you guys. Any other questions we can help you with tonight? Hey, we'll see you in the morning.
Thank
All
you,
right, guys, have a
Terry.
good day.
You're
Thank
fabulous,
you.
Manir.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. If you guys want information on this, you can scan this QR code. 11:30 on the 8th of August. My daughter's Instagram boyfriend, so oh yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
So
Stop.
I bought a list to start calling off of the